Well, today we arrive in this square state named Arkansas. I'm not sure exactly how you pronounce it. It's Arkansas or Arkansas. I'm gonna call it Arkansas. Sounds a bit better. Now, what can see about this state? First of all, the flag. I really like this flag for whatever reason. I think it's very simple, very clear. It could be one of the best flag that we see in the United States so far. I'm gonna be honest with you. It genuinely look nice. The seal also pretty interesting, although this justice here, not sure about that in a human world, but watch this. This lady has here on this writing mercy. I bet money on that this mercy, this right here is it was used in a court so many times to, let's say, indulge, let's say, the judge. But let's see now what we're dealing with here. Capital is Little Rock, which is kind of an interesting name, and the largest county, no, largest city, I'm interested. Central Arkansas, Northwest Arkansas. Okay. Population. Well, population, it is pretty interesting. Okay, it's just 3.1 million people living in the entire state, as you can see right here. And median household income, it's one of the worst in the country. It's $58,000 in 2023. Probably by now it's 60, 65. I don't know exactly, but at least 60 for sure. 48 in the country. Really bad. Really bad. It's a landlocked state, so we're gonna see the elevation. It's around 200 meters. The highest one, it's 839, and the lowest is 17. So clearly no opening to the sea, ocean, gulf, anything like that. They have an official language, which is obviously English, as you can see right there, everybody. Let's see now what we can see about this state on the Wikipedia page. Yeah, some nice ones. They have some cannons here looking pretty cool, probably from the Civil War. What else can we find here? They have some sort of a Black Sea ice. Even back in the day, it was ice, you know. A group of African American boys in the Little Rock in 1939. I'm not sure it's a protest or something like that, but it is right there. Geography. Well, geography I expect to be pretty not spectacular in any way, but it could be better than expected, you know. That's the problem. That's the thing. When you go with low expectation in those things, usually kind of get impressed. This one is pretty nice, actually. But we will see how well they're doing. Climate here, well, yeah, it's pretty cold. Not too warm, not too cold, not too nothing, pretty much, which is decently done. Population, we want to see the black and white first of all. But I want to see it by percentage. Okay, we have this one. Look at this, 1990s. Even in Arkansas, which is pretty, I would say, deep south. Let's call it like that. Whites in 1990s were 82%. Now in the last one in 2020 was 70%. So they dropped 12 points immediately. Just see it, like 12% done. African Americans, watch this. This is very dangerous here, because they start with 15.9% in 1990s, and they go down too. Now it's 15.1. So really interesting, this one. But look at this, Asian from 0.5 to 1.7, natives from 0.5 to 0.9, which is pretty good. I mean, those one, it's interesting. Those one, they should get a bit more supported in my opinion. But yeah, it is what it is those days. So yeah, Oklahoma, it's a bit more native, let's call it like that, than the rest of the state. With also Arizona, as you can see here, and New Mexico a bit, but we'll get to those immediately in next, I don't know, weeks. Native Hawaiians and other Pacific, yeah, they got two from pretty much 0 here to 0.5. Other race from 0.3 to 4.5, and 2 or more races from pretty much, I guess, 0 or at least less than 1%, I don't know, to 7.1. This is the third largest group in the state, which is insane if you ask me. But keep an eye on the whites and the blacks. You're gonna see some surprises in the next census for sure. Probably the whites is gonna go below 66%, so less than 2/3, and blacks, they're gonna go below 15% for sure. But we're gonna see that. Who knows? Maybe like in 2030. Religion, Protestant 70%, unaffiliated again 18%. This one raised too, and I have a feeling unaffiliated it's already the second biggest one. So probably they're gonna get like a quarter from the population, so around 25%. In the next census, Catholics, not that much, 8%. Muslim, 2%. Okay. Mormons, 1%. Others, 1%. Have you noticed they don't have Jews here? That is, they're not going to show it on the map, which is interesting. Usually, they want to be mentioned by the name, and they make sure that in every state this happened. This one, maybe it's an error, I don't know, but it is what it is. What else we have here? Non-affiliated, 87%. Wow, that's pretty high. Republicans, 7.4. Democrats, 4.8. Okay, and in electoral races, usually go from the Republicans here in the presidential era, but here you can see non-partisans, huge percentage. Very, very interesting that, I'm gonna be honest with you. Who's the governor in this state? I'm interested. So the governor, it's a Republican and it's a woman. So, oh, and the lieutenant governor. What the fuck is that? Second highest constitution in the elected US. I don't know what the fuck is that, but they have two women, so things cannot go that well here for them. That's for sure. Oh god, they already start really bad. Yeah, the Republican Party, I don't know exactly what they say are there, and then they have like political unaffiliations. Yeah, that's a different story, but it is what it is. US Senator, at least it's a guy, and the other guy, it's another guy, but the governor, it's a woman. God have mercy on you. Let's see how well they're doing there. As you can see, the state, pretty basic. I mean, like, on the river in the east side, pretty squared all over the other borders, so yeah, nothing spectacular. Clearly American, I would say. Let's start in the south. Let's make a difference now. Let's start with those guys here. Right there, buddy. And we have this farm here. They have pretty big farms here. Oh, exactly on the river. Look how nice it is. See, this farmer here probably is doing pretty well, I will assume. He has this nice dock here with a boat. I mean, I have a tough day at work. Just sit there, enjoy a nice, I don't know, like 1-2 hours on the river alone with your thoughts. It's pretty good. Roads, pretty decent. Have some cracks each and there, but yeah, it's a farm road, so not that many people actually gonna go here except the farmers. At least they don't use it that much. Except the farmers, they're doing pretty well in the farming department. I think in those states they provide a lot of food. I'm not sure exactly what's going on there in America. They say the food's getting extremely expensive. Even the quality, they say they go down, which that's really strange. But yeah, we will see how well this is gonna end, because I don't know, when you attack people, food, oh boy, it's not that much longer. We're gonna have a civil war. Oh, here the road still pretty good, not that much to complain. Houses, yeah, clearly a low income area for sure. This is what, this is June 2014, not so long ago. And again, some potholes in the road, but nothing, I don't know, outrageous, let's call it like that. Have some interesting vegetation. This one is getting a bit worse. Cars, yeah, it's a low income area, so not something, I don't know, extremely high, let's say, quality of the life. Although so far it's an east town. I mean, like, it's not that many people here. Things, probably most of them, they are farmers, I will assume. I don't know, but hey, it is what it is. Let's check this small town here. Whoa, I like the trees. Look how nice it is. See, at least they get that with trees. Again, with the trash cans, we talked last video, was a really good idea. Hopefully they're gonna implement it at some point, but we will see about that. Cars here. Okay, this is an Infinity, which is not exactly the car that you want to buy from reliable points and other things, but yeah, this is a 9th Avenue, I guess. Not a 6th Avenue East Park, but still pretty good. Have some political visions here, which again, and the state, the flag state, and the American flag, and the last one in yellow, I don't know, maybe it's like the, I don't know, the town flag. I have those, not sure. They cut a tree here. Fortunately, they didn't plant another one, but who knows, maybe by now they have one. It's a small quiet town, I would say. This house is really nice. I mean, look at this, how nice it is. And this one, it's even better, I would say. Not exactly. That's gonna have more detail. Overall, it's not bad. I mean, Arkansas, keep in mind, is one of those poorest states in the United States. So far, it's pretty decent. It's pretty decent. And they have a woman as a governor, so so far it's not that bad. I'm gonna be honest with you. What else can we find here? Okay, road pretty decent. Those cables, those lines here, not a big fan of those, like I said, but I have to mention it every time. This one definitely has better days. Those barns are from sale or what? They just keep it like that. Have some nice boats here, I would say, on the trailers, some of them. How much? This is what, October 2024, and I want to check the gas price. What was that? Right here. 285. And here was like 3 in 2014. Wow, they got cheaper. You don't see that in Europe. 285, I think it is. The quality is not that great. God, what the fuck. Yeah, it's still way cheaper than Europe, but yeah, probably like $1 should be the maximum price allowed for a gallon of gas. I don't know, we're gonna see that pretty soon, but it's insane how it's just gas, for God's sake. Come on, it's a product. It's shouldn't be that expensive. This one on the docks. Oh God, 2008. My God, I don't even remember 2008. Yeah, pretty shitty cameras we have back then. Hopefully we got better with that, so we have some details now. This is a nice house in the middle of nowhere. I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm not sure exactly what they're doing here. Maybe they're farmers again. Who knows? Not that much privacy, but again, it's like the only house here, so but still some trees would be nice. Again, the garage inside the house makes no sense to me. The road's pretty decent, not so bad, but so far I'm not that impressed. I mean, it's below average for sure that we see in other states. Nice trees each in there, not so bad, not so bad. They have a lake here, which is pretty good, but you can see not that many rich people, I would say, here, because they don't have that much construction on those lakes, like high-end houses and all of that stuff. They have some sort of a swamp here, which hopefully, probably, most likely, they don't have crocodiles here, so I guess you are good on that chapter. What else can we see with those guys? Let's move here in those towns. It's a much bigger one, so I have again high expectation for this one. It's Mena. It's not exactly the rock, but still. Again, the same problem that we're gonna discuss that, probably in the California video more in detail. Wow, that's an expensive car. This guy is pretty rich, but the house doesn't seem to be that amazing, to be honest. Maybe it's not his house, who knows. What you do if you get born in one of those towns in this state? I mean, like, how much opportunities you have, how much do you want to live here? The same problems. Oh, I got mail. The same problems remains, that is gonna be a thing that I don't know how those states is gonna tackle them, in which direction it's gonna go, but it's pretty delicate because for one hand, you don't want to increase the population, going down the population, in my opinion, and I'm gonna make a video probably, who knows, maybe today. Going down in population, it is a good thing overall. It's a net positive, but in the same time, you don't want to end up with only old people in your, what is that, the deer? You don't want to end up with only old people in your state, so you have to have a healthy balance of that. But in the same time, things like this, I mean, like, look at this. It's not gonna attract that many people, especially when you have the alternatives like much more developed state, let's say, in the fun department. Let's call it at least for the more appealing to the young population. Even California with a lot of problems there. Having like, I don't know, 5 years at least, 10 years at least in your life living there and see how things are, even if you struggle. The experience there is gonna serve you well. Oh, that's a really rough house here. Then who knows, maybe Florida looks pretty good. Even New York. I mean, like the experience of the big city from the young person always gonna be on the top, I would say, especially when you come from those small state, poor state. Even like again, you don't have to move there forever. You just want experience. Just say I'm gonna live 5 years. I live in California. Then I get 5 years in New York. Then I get 5 years. I don't know, in Washington D.C. Doesn't matter. The experience that moving around to the biggest city and trying to make a living there, the challenge, let's say like that. Which sounds very stupid, but the experience that you're gonna get that from something like that, it's usually again a net positive. But those states, they genuinely have to do a bit more in the young department. And yeah, the fact that they have a lot of rules, they don't have that great of the justice for, I mean, like everyone. And those things, they tend, again, you can discuss as much as you want those terms. At least here they don't have such an old governor, but again, it's a woman. So we have that discussion with the woman, like women always prefer safety against freedom. Doesn't matter who they are, always the same story. So young people prefer freedom than safety, and something that the old generation doesn't understand, and also the woman cannot provide. It's gonna let you with like a lot of young people just moving the state in other states. So it's a problem. It's a problem that it's not gonna be easy to be tackled. I'm gonna be honest with you, and I'm not sure exactly how those states is gonna do, because they don't have that much time left. And when I say not that much time left, probably like 20-25 years, by 2050, when you're gonna have like a very mature technology, and we're gonna be able to provide for everyone everything pretty much. And hopefully by then the housing crisis is not gonna be any more a crisis, and the food and all of that. And then we're gonna actually see just genuinely which states provide a better life, a better freedom overall. That's gonna be the result. Which one have the more freedoms? And those states like that, then they say they have a lot of freedoms. They actually don't. In the money chapter, they don't provide. That's for sure. They don't have like, look at how they live. It's not that much appealing. And I'm sure that in a freedom department, in the young eyes of the freedom, they don't provide that well. In the old people eyes, it's like, oh, it's very free, so like that, but it's not actually. So they're gonna get emptier. I'm not sure in this one. Actually, I'm gonna cut up a bit here, unfortunately. But did we have like a demographic? I want to see the population. Look at this. In 1810, there was like 1,000 people here, for God's sake. Look at the pyramid. It's like pretty basic, and you can see the base is getting narrow and narrow, which that's a good thing. But it's like a company. You have to rebrand yourself. You have to see, okay, we want to have like more young people here that stays what they want. They want this and this and that. Okay, they're not on the taste, let's say, like the old people, but then you have to make a tough choice. Which one is gonna go? You're gonna go for old or for young people? And so far, not even in the United States, even in Europe, they choose old people because they represent the majority and they get votes for them. So, but in the long run, you lose, and you lose big. So it's gonna be interesting how they're gonna go with that. But look at this. They have like a few time periods, then have like population on minus, as you can see. But the beginning of the 20th century was 1.3 million. The beginning of the 21st century was 2.6 million, as you can see. So they doubled the population. And now in 2025, they estimate around 3.1 million people with an increase of 3.4%. But pretty soon, I'm going to be sure by 2050, the population starts to go down. And we don't know exactly how fast it's going to go down. That's another interesting metrics, I would say. It's gonna go down, fine, okay, we know that now, but how much is gonna go down and how fast? And we know for sure now it's gonna be, it already are, but it's gonna be more old people for young people. So which state is gonna be managing the best to attract those without migration? Keeping that in mind, you can't cheat using migration. It's a cheat code here, because the young population, I think they're gonna get a taste of this migration and they're gonna say no to that, no thank you. So it's gonna be you need to have a state that say no to migration and provide enough freedom for young people to stay. Those is gonna be extremely hard to do. And yeah, so far everyone, even in Europe, they choose the easy out. It's like migration, but ooh, and they have to sacrifice for the first time. So far, they sacrifice the young generation. Always they sacrifice the youngs, always doing worst. But it's gonna be a generation that has to sacrifice the old generation, and I'm not sure exactly how that is gonna be because they have a majority of the vote then. So one way is to do it, just limit the vote to 60 years old. In my opinion, it's be like you should vote between 30 years old and 60 years old. That's it. You should not be able to vote earlier than that or later than that. Just that's exactly this frame, and this is the exactly frame that you can actually occupy political positions and power political position. You should be between 40 years old and 60 years old. That's it. No politician after 60 years old, just or retired or find other jobs. I don't care, but no politician whatsoever over this age. Otherwise, that's why we get this mess. The roads here it doesn't look so great, I'm gonna be honest with you. So yeah, I don't think Arkansas is gonna be one of those states that understand that, and probably when they see the populations go down, they're gonna remain with the old population here, and the young ones, they're gonna choose the more chaotic states, I would say. Even though it looks chaotic at the beginning, for them, that's why they don't understand. For them, they look very appealing, especially when it came from those ones. There is like, look at this, not that much happening here. Same old routine every day, in the middle of nowhere. This is not for young people. There's no way. Yeah, maybe you get older, but you still, even if you get older, let's face it, you don't want to. We see a lot of nice houses in this journey that we make across the United States, and there are better opportunities than this one. Oh, look at this. The guy have the same parking spot for like, this is from December 2020. This is from August 2025. The same truck, the same spot. Good for him. Although look at, they have an ATVs. Yeah, that's pretty nice. They have like nice yards, a nice tree, a nice house. It's not that appealing after a very short period of time. It's just you want not exactly more, but just you want a different thing from most of the people. I mean, look at this. The neighbor, look how pretty much fucked up here, and this is a pretty fucked up house too. It's not gonna attract the young ones, and you can force them to live there. That's one thing, but if you force someone to live there, they're not gonna be at the best. They're not gonna have like the best, I don't know, they can do. Not gonna start, nice, good businesses. Would have a lake here. That's pretty nice. They're not gonna help the economy. They're not gonna help the others as much as the governor would like to see in his state. But it is. I mean, look at this. It's not so great of the house. I mean, like, for sale. Yeah, I give you $5 if you want for this, and that's it. No, it's not appealing. Not appealing to anyone. It is not anyone. Not many people, especially the young ones. The problem it's not. That's one thing they don't understand. They're not the only states. There are other states that they definitely do better. And this is a place for the rich people, as you can see here. Which they're doing pretty well, except this. Look at this. This is a pretty much entire house for the garage for these guys. They have another one here. That's insane. And you can see that in a poorest state of America, really close to each other, how one side is doing very well. On the other side, we watch it, and they're doing extremely poorly. It's not exactly a good image on the state, I'm gonna be honest with you. It just does look bad. And if you are born, let's say, in that poverty, there's no way you're gonna take your chances here. That's another thing that, again, they don't understand. I'm not sure if it's this. Oh, that's a real truck right there, and that's a fake truck behind it. Oh, this police here is living here, or is just they got called for whatever problem? Also, extremely strange how the United States, they allow them to use the police car to go home and back to work. It's insane. Like, that's corruption here. In Europe, but there I think it's very normal for them just to use taxpayer money for the gas and produce also wear and tear of the car. That taxpayer money has to change the tires, has to change the oil just because they want to go home with the car. It's insane. Yeah, here it's corruption. In America, it's normal, I guess. It is what it is. Yeah, even here on the leg, as you can see, some side doing really well, the other side extremely poor. It's just doesn't make any. Look at this guy's doing very well here, and the other guy, like his neighbor, yeah, not that great. I don't know. I'm gonna be honest. Arkansas looks pretty good overall. I mean, like it's not that bad. Uh, Again, for the poorest states, it's pretty decent. But in the same time, it's like you're not gonna attract anyone coming in your state. Expect maybe the migrants, maybe yeah, the migrants you can do like south of the border. You can find those, man. For them, it's gonna be like paradise. But be careful with that because you change your state with that, and you think, oh, right, it doesn't matter. Especially for the old people right now, they don't care because as long as they live, they're gonna stay in power, and they don't care about anything else. It's a nice Rivian here. Well, we don't see those every often, and we see it right here. And they have it for a while. This is 2023. Again, the Ukrainian flag for whatever reason in December 2023. God. Yeah, really nice trucks, but I'm not sure exactly. It's not that cheap. You're not gonna track the young population here. Not staying, not coming that much. Yeah, you're always gonna have some examples. It doesn't help anyone. I don't know. I don't know about those states. I'm gonna be honest with you. It's like the work that they have to do. It's twice as hard than those so-called fucked up states or like chaotic states. Like for example, like California, like all the bad news. You know, you see that from the Republicans part, like it's the devil's place. You know, the La La Land there. But they have a much easier time to attract young people and stay there than pretty much all other states, and that's what they're gonna allow them to continue because at some point, again, we're living to those weird stage that we genuinely we do not care. I mean, like especially those that are in power in politics, they genuinely, because they're so old, they do not care what's happening. They don't care for anyone else than just himself, and they know that because they don't have that much to live. So everyone else, they're doing really well for themselves. They genuinely did not know the real life outside their mind, pretty much. Oh, that's a really fucked up camera for 2022. Definitely, yeah, it's not. It's a third-party camera for sure. So attracting, yeah, look how nice. And look at this. Some of those spaces. I mean, this is really nice here. Look at those trees, how they look. The nice road, houses, pretty decent too. Not a bad place, but they have 100% some other issues because I'm gonna guarantee you by 2050 when the population is gonna go down, the median age also is gonna go down like every other state, every other civilized country pretty much. But we're gonna see the young population, the young people, they will not like to come or stay here, especially not from the periods of life that actually matter. So that's gonna be a huge problem. There's gonna be a battle. You can be sure of that. I'm gonna assure you of that. There's gonna be a battle in the United States for young population. Who's gonna create more incentive for those young population to came and stay in their states? And a lot of those guys, they're gonna get it wrong. It's like how they're doing right now. We're like, oh, we're gonna have incentive for population to have kids. No, you can't have that. That's the worst thing you can do. If you do that, you already lost from the beginning because you have to have money for that and you're gonna raise taxes. And who the fucks? They still think the young population is stupid as they are, because they think, oh yeah, you're gonna give them money for the first 5 years of the child and then we're gonna tax them for the rest of their life because they have another population that has to come. And no, if you have this kind of a policy, you lost from the beginning, from the start. You don't even qualify. You don't even start. So, and I have a feeling that states like Arkansas, they're gonna go for this because they're not that bright. Those who are in power there. That's a really nice house here. I like it. I mean, I'm kind of extension of the house to keep the car like that. Although I can see it from the street, so I don't like it. But it's slightly better than just put them inside the house. Slightly better this one. And I like it. It's just a flat land there. They have some decent trees, although I will plant a bit more here and there. This is not a bad place to live, I'm gonna be honest with you. But and we just talk about the living standards here. It's like the laws and how they're doing things there. Clearly, when you see the populations they go down with a reason. And again, the young population doesn't want to stay there. They do it with a reason. They're just not crazy. They're just the old population that is in power cannot understand that because they are way too old to see those things. And who's gonna put them in power? Well, the old vote for the old because they are selfish generation and they don't care about anything else but themselves. So Yeah, although look at this is pretty, it's what the fuck, it's a Jewish house here, and you have to put the signs right there in Arkansas. Oh god, such fucked up people. What the fuck does that? Like, can you imagine everyone put like a flag with wherever the ancestor came from? What the fuck is gonna do? It's like, again, probably they're old people there for sure. There's no way young population is gonna do bullshit like that, but those old ones, like I say, really, really fucked up people. So yeah, the old population vote for the old representative to represent them in any way. So the young again get left out over. So what are they doing? They're moving to those more chaotic states that they are really chaos in the like California. You're gonna see that it's really chaos, but they still look better. They have more opportunities, and you are willing to deal with those nonsense because you came from those states like Arkansas, Louisiana, West Virginia, and you see how bad things are there, and you don't want to go back. And you are willing to put up with those nonsense that they have those in those blue states or blue cities more than you should do also. But again, it is what it is, and we're gonna see some changes in the future for sure. For those states that understands that and understand that, look, I mean, like, it's not even the state, it's gonna be like a federal level that say, okay, you should vote. It's gonna be like huge impact in this one. It's like you can vote only between 30 and 60, and you can occupy powerful positions in a government in any level, not just the high level, in any level of the government, only if you are between 40 and 60. And you cannot go to the, let's say, run for office if you are like 57. For example, have a president, you have like 4 years term, you have to have a most 56. The day you turn 60 is the last day there, not the next day. That one is the last day at work. So they cannot allow you to just to leave the office because of the age. So yeah, you need to be young. 40 to 60, it's young enough for most of the people. But you have like elected people there in the United States, especially in the government or anything, really powerful. They are older than the median age. We don't talk about that much, the youngest of them all. No, we're talking about the median age. They're some of them they're even double the median. It's insane. So when you have that, there is like no, there is no way you're gonna end up well. Look how many cars that, I mean, like when you have someone that has a red hammer in the driveway, yeah, you don't want them as a neighbor. I'm gonna be honest with you. It's just no things for me. And if I put all those cars together, I guess they get a more surface of the cars than the square feet of the house itself. So that's insane too. How many people living in those houses, for God's sake? I mean, I get it, the American like cars, but not that much. They have like more surface of the cars than the house itself. That's a really interesting car right there. I'm not sure what kind of device. Oh, it's like those for fitness one. Okay, now I see it. It's a nice street, I'm gonna be honest with you, it's not so bad, although it kind of looks like they live in a valley on the both sides from what I can saw here. I mean, like we see this line here, and yeah, they kind of have the valleys there and there. I'm not sure exactly what the wildlife they have here, but living here, probably in the last house on this corner, there's a young people probably gonna join like bicycles and a football fields there. It's gonna be pretty nice. And I think they have a lake pretty close to them, so you can go there and swim in the summer. You can have some really nice, for the very, very young population, when you get born there, it's not much you can do. It could be a really nice place to be born, you know. There is like levels, different levels of those things that you could be, those states like that, in these regions like this, with a lake, with a nice houses, with not that much population, it could be absolutely great for a childhood. Absolutely great, and great memories. But the sooner you get like 16, 18, you just want to leave. That's it. End of the story. You just want to leave. And I'm going to be honest, depends how much you stay gone. It's going to be harder and harder to come back, especially if the things don't change that much. Here, the same problem. Like I said, you have like really rich people on the other side, really poor people. But judging the houses, they're really nice. I mean, this one, I like it a lot. This one, also pretty nice, but this one is just, look at this, nice plants, a bit more trees here, not gonna hurt anyone, but looking pretty nice. This one also nice. Not exactly what we saw, let's say, in other states, like the rich neighborhood, that they look much better. But this one is pretty basic. I'm not sure exactly how rich it is. Also, how much it's gonna be to buy a house here, or at least land or something. Definitely, they have a pool here. But it looks pretty good. I mean, living on a street like that, although it's not exactly a straight line, it just kind of go down. Not sure exactly if you can play ball here, but it is pretty good. Like, it's not that much to complain, to be honest, living in a place like that. Not that much to complain. There are far worse places than this for sure, but this one looks pretty decent. So yeah, Arkansas, I'm gonna be honest, so far doesn't look bad at all. It's just a bit too much difference between rich and poor, that's for sure. But they have pretty decent amount of rich too, so for the 3 million people that they have here, not so bad, not so bad. This is nice farming road, I will assume here. That's not that much use. Pretty good. Ooh, I have a feeling that I'm gonna like more the desert. I don't know. I always have a weak spot for the desert. Probably because I never saw it. But I don't know. It looks interesting. Let's see this one, how they live here. Nice tree line. The road's pretty decent too. Yeah, not that much to complain. This house, it's an abandoned here for sure. I don't think anyone lives here. Um, yeah, when you already start to see, and again, we have the discussion with abandoned houses. Most likely, pretty soon, we're gonna see if somebody really count them, the homeless people and the abandoned houses. We're gonna have more, especially in the Western world, not just in the United States. We're gonna have more abandoned houses than homeless people. Just be like, what the fuck they doing there? Be insane, but it is what it is. Yeah, this is a clearly a low income street, maybe a medium income by the Arkansas standards. Not that appealing in any way, shape, or form, but also not that bad either. There are a few houses that they look pretty nice here, and it's like a nice, quiet street. So, again, back to those nice childhood memories. You could have it pretty good here. And it does matter a lot. Childhood, it does matter a huge amount. But, oof, like I say, immediately you're like 16, 18 years old. It's just, and you're gonna see like, I would like to have like some interviews. I mean, like if I have like a local TV station there or something like that, I will go to those young people, like I said, in schools or in a playground. Playgrounds now, 16, 18, you don't have to go to playground. But ask them, would you like to leave the state for another one, in which that state it is and why? And I'm probably gonna get like 50% of them at least is gonna say, oh, I want to leave. And some of them, they just want to explore what's out there, which is fine. You should do it for sure, but the state, the government should be extremely worried about when you see those data. They're like, people just want to leave, because if they leave, um, they're gonna discover there's much better lives out there. Very hard to make him come back. I'm not sure exactly what they have this bumper here. This is like from the police car usually, but look how many cars. I mean, come on, what the fuck is going on in here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cars here. And those two, I hope they are from the neighbor, but I don't think so. Why they have so many? How many people living in this house? It's insane. And they just park like that on the green. This guy, see, we're talking about these kind of things. First of all, this is a petrol one, so we have the electric ones. Still very noisy, but much better than this one. And we have those that you can remote control it. You don't have to stay behind it, so that's even better. But this is what, 2025? Oh, pretty recently. So most likely the technology is gonna go to United States. If not, probably it's already there, but just people, they don't know about it. So yeah, much better to have like a remote control low machine, or whatever they call cutting grass machine, and just pretty much do the job for you than just looking on the phone, or just, I don't know, stay in the garden and see what job it does. Way better. A lot of cars again for those. So I assuming that they have a lot of population in those small houses that they live, and because of the money problem, the money issues that they have, the young population cannot move out of the houses faster, so they be forced to live with the parents. I assuming is that. But man, there is way too many cars here. Probably like at some point, probably it's gonna be like more cars per capita than the people itself. Like, it's kind of insane, but okay, all right. Yeah, I mean, it does look pretty decent, and like we clearly saw way worse places, but they have that huge problem that hanging above their heads, like young population, they do not want to stay, and they do everything they can to oppress those young population, and then don't understand why they leave. And if you ask them to take action, they don't know what to do because they don't understand. So there is no way that those people are gonna fix the problem. And it's not just we're talking about here because we are in Arkansas, but that's pretty much most of the states. Also, it's not like, oh, just Arkansas. No, just most of the state they're doing these mistakes that they genuinely do not understand how to fix it. Just because they didn't have the lifestyle, they don't know understand. They have no idea how the real world actually is right now. They're living in their imagination, and they think they know better. That's another problem. And when things they don't go well, they don't understand why. It just and they looking to blame someone else, and usually they blame, like I said, the young population. They don't want to work, they don't want to do that, they don't want to yeah, right, like, but they want to do it like for like $5 an hour or something like that, you know. They don't understand it, so there's no way you're gonna fix with those old population, old people in the power. And also, if they keep them the right to vote at any age, no, that is no way you're gonna fix things. So this neighborhood here clearly it's some new construction one because we don't see that many cables. This one can probably need some cables, but this one you don't see cables, which is pretty good. Although we don't see that much vegetation either, so not a big fan of those. Okay, in 2014 they didn't have back then. 2014 they barely have something now. So problems, big problems there in that department. But again, it is what it is. Those cables are high voltage one, I assuming, but they don't look that appealing. I'm gonna be honest with you. And moving in a place like that, I mean, we're gonna see that in Nevada, in Arizona, those new type of neighborhood building. Look at this, how fucked up they are. It just everyone is the same house, same land. It just no. It's we're gonna again, the young population is gonna run. They want those because they don't have a choice right now. That is probably the only they can afford. But nobody wants to live like that. That's for sure. That's a nice station wagon. Good for you, buddy. Although it's a Mercedes, so I'm not sure exactly how reliable that is, but fine. So again, yeah, they genuinely think if you put the whole population in power, which they are, they're gonna say building something like that is gonna be, oh, we fixed the problem. Look how much we give them to the young population, and they don't recognize it. They want more. They still they're not happy, and that is their fault. Who the fuck wants to live like that? I mean, look at this. They have small, and if you look at them how they live, they usually live in places that they have much more land. They have this one is not a good example also, but they have much more land and they have like better houses, better everything, and then complain, give them like 10% of that to them, which is 10% of the young population, and they say why they complain. I mean, look how much they give them. And I'm gonna be honest, something like this affordable. Let's say that one house like that with this land costing like let's say $50,000. Oh yeah, it's a good thing. It's a blessing for the young population, but it's not exactly how you want to live your life too. It's a step, it's a progress, it's a step forward for sure, but it's not gonna last that much longer also because it is normal to want more, and it's normal to want something that is genuinely nice, not like a easy solution, you know, something that is gonna be just for now. Just shut them up and give them something to go home, a place to go. Not call it home. Yeah, that's at least that's my thing. Because if you genuinely start with a good thing like good houses, good lands, good of that, you fix the problem from the start. You don't have to worry about that in the future. But they kind of move the problems to the next and next generation and so on. It's just like nobody wants to fix them from the beginning. Just yeah, it's something that young generation I would assume doesn't understand it because it's insane. But the old generation is gonna be like, oh, that's amazing. I mean, look at this. We give you a house. We give you like, and they don't like also to make the house cheaper. No, they give you like incentives or something like that to keep the price high on the market, but it just like make it a bit easier, you know, for you. Then they say like, look how much we give you. We give you the house. We give you everything. You're like you're still not happy. Yeah, but they don't want to drive the market down. Just no way. Their property is gonna lose the value. There is no way. Even though like they have like 5 years to live and they're not gonna get in with them. It's insane. Insane those people. Absolutely insane. But those are the old ones that are in power. So, like I say, as long as we don't change, starting with the voting system, there is no way they're gonna get any incentive whatsoever to change something for the young population, because youngs sometimes they don't even vote. And second, if the old population still voting for pretty much themselves, those who are candidates for those that are running for those offices, they're gonna appeal to them more than anyone else. That's a X5 BMW, I assuming. X3, okay, pretty big from that angle. And the house is, I'm not sure it's a house. Two boats, it's for sale. This house is for sale. And this guy in BMW show up to buy the house. Oh god, how many things they have here. And some sort of a truck here, and this one, it seems like it's gonna fall off in any second. I mean, it's nice to have on a lake, but it's a bit too much crap here on this lake to make it that appealing. Although it's like in a March here, so not that green either. So, but at least it's a lake house, you know. And everyone seems to have those docks here and these ones. Ooh, look at those guys. Those are rich guys. They don't even see. They don't even go here. Probably it's like a gated community or something like that. But look how those guys live. Look how much land they have. How much privacy they have. This is how you want to live, like these guys. But the population that is in power right now, and if you tell them you want something like that to genuinely to fix this issue forever, and they just say, oh no, it's impossible, it's too expensive. It's like it's the same house on a bigger land. That's it. When the population does go down, what do you mean it's impossible? It's not. It's just you don't want it. It's a different story. That's how we should live. I mean, like we have like enough spaces. Although the road is kind of fucked up, to be honest. There. This is how it's supposed to be. See, big houses with big land. You can actually put a lot of trees here so you can have privacy, and then just enjoy your life. And closer to the water, as we can have the discussion with the houses of the water. That's what you want. But again, if you tell them that, it says, no, it's impossible. It costs too much money. We don't have the money. Just you have the land, give the land. That's the first stage. Second stage, make easy to build, make materials cheaper to build. Oh, it's a nice Porsche there. And you're pretty much done. So shut the fuck up with like it's expensive and we cannot do it and all of that. No, you can't. You just don't want it. And that's why I'm saying that the lower population right now, starting from now, is going to be a great benefit in the future. Although the old population is going to tell you, like we're seeing, with a lot of those so-called programs to incentivize people to have kids, is just a trap. In two ways, trap. First of all, they're going to give you some sort of a money, and they're going to take it back from you with higher taxes immediately. So you just don't get pretty much any money, just losing money. And second of them, having more people running for the same land, for the same resources, is not gonna do that well to anyone else. I mean, and especially with the migration, that they generally the old generation import migrants on a constant rate to make sure your salary stays down, stays low enough, so then they can doing pretty much what they like. So yeah, they don't need to work harder. Their money keep the same value, or they raising in value, especially the houses. So there is no way they're gonna fix. The old generation is not gonna fix that, because the old generation sees houses as an investment. We have a discussion with the houses. First thing you have to do, stop seeing an investment. Another beetle here. We've seen a few of those in the last few videos. They genuinely like them here. So by stopping seeing the house as an investment, you pretty much already fixed the market, in my opinion. At least half of the problem is gone. The other half is like legislation and price of materials, and that's it. You fix the housing market. It's not impossible. It's genuinely, you can fix it in less than a year for sure. But as long as they have the old population in power, there is no way they're gonna fix that. There is no way. That's who they are. They don't understand it. They don't want it. They will never allow it. But look at this. That's a really nice neighborhood here. A bit jamming to each other, but still manageable to live for sure. Again, those nonsense RVs, never understand it, never will. The road's pretty decent, but seen some better days for sure. But yeah, it looks pretty decent here. Not that great in the winter, but in the summer probably it looks better. Can we check them in the summer? Let's say from May, but it's 2014. Yeah, it looks better. Everything green. Looks pretty nice. Yeah, it is better for sure. It is better for sure. So yeah, in Arkansas so far things are not looking so bad. I'm gonna be honest with you. It just feels like a too much difference between rich and poor. A bit too much. And one of the poorest states in the United States. I don't see it that much, but if it is, as they say, compared with the rest of the world, in this case, they're looking very well. They're looking very well for sure, and that is no more thing. But you have to keep the pressure again, like we said. We keep the pressure to do better. It's just because you're doing great right now, decent right now, it doesn't mean you have to stop the pressure. No, be exactly the opposite. Raise the pressure. Keep more pressure to them to do better. That's how they're supposed to do. I never understand those type of garden. It's just unusable in my opinion, but some people just go for it for whatever reason. But it looks like trash to me. It's just, it looks like you're a lazy person that doesn't want to do anything. It's just go with the gravel for, you don't have to cut grass or anything like that. No, just don't like it at all. It's a fake one. But yeah, so far, I mean, look at this. Those houses here, they look, and the land they have is pretty nice. I mean, they have pretty good, decent land, good distance between the houses, at least decent in some cases. You can genuinely build a nice community here, but a bit more trees for sure. It's just like, okay, so it's way too blank. What this guy is doing here? Man, no shirt, Molek on the back. It's scary. That is Arkansas right there, buddy. I mean, look at this guy. Short shorts, 2 dogs, Molek on the back. No shirts whatsoever. Oh my god, this is clearly, look at it. That is the state of Arkansas right there, buddy. That's how they live here. Look at that Molek right there. I bet he's gonna stay right here, right? Have this house in construction? Maybe not. Just coming down the road, who knows? But that's a nice wagon there. Yeah, overall I have to say it's not that bad. I mean, they have some really nice places, like these ones here. They're looking pretty nice, and those that have access to the water, it's gonna be the rich one, obviously. Don't think for a second they're gonna allow the poor ones to live here. What kind of state if you think they're running here? There's no way, buddy. There's no way in hell we're gonna leave the poor people living there, for God's sake. This is prime real estate. And we have the Molek to prove it. Yeah, otherwise, not a huge amount of complaint, not something like, I mean, those new neighborhoods, just a no. Probably they like to put migrants here. That's an expensive car for a place like that, to be honest. Yeah, it's expensive. No, nobody should live like this. I mean, come on, buddy. Come on. Fucked up the car here. No. No, I get it. It's a house. You need to live somewhere. Understand it, perfect. But no. I will not pay more than $10,000 for a house like this. So that's way less than the price to build it. So they should never exist in the first place. Not like that. Come on. Genuinely looks fucked up. And they build quite a lot in these states. As you can see, they have quite a few constructions. So I'm assuming that they, with those so-called tracks here, that they have way too many people working on the sites here. Probably that's why it's so expensive. Way too many. And this is definitely migrants. Way too many. Yeah, no. That's why it's expensive. And they're using migrants to drag down the cost, and then they catch the profit. No, thank you. No. You shouldn't allow any construction that, I mean, again, it's go back to rules regulation and the fact that people don't like to build their own houses anymore like they used to be. So that's why they drag the price up too. Again, another problem. Yeah, you shouldn't allow you as a owner, any contractor, you shouldn't allow them to use migrants to build your house. Say, okay, we're gonna take it more than, let's say, not in 1 month we're gonna finish the house, because it's wood, have to be 1 month, for God's sake. We're gonna finish it in like 3 months. Use you and another two guys, and that's it. If you're not, I mean, like, if you're they say, oh, it's impossible. You need a guy for the roof, a guy for the floors, a guy for the all that. No, that's insane. That's nonsense. Yeah, you need a guy for the plumbing and one for the electrical wiring in the house. That's way two different things. But those guys can come in, they finish like in 3-4 days everything. Especially this is how we do it here in my country. So if they tell you like, oh, it takes weeks and that's lies. Then if they do that, they don't know what they're doing for sure. So yeah, you need a construction guy that builds genuinely the foundation and walls and windows on your house. Hey, look at this cat here. So that you need the guy, one guy, which is gonna manage the project, and two guys to actually work on that. So 3 guys, most, maximum. I mean, I remember when my father built the house, and it was him and 2 guys, and that's it. It was like the one that they knew, they generally, that's what they're doing. They're building houses, and they didn't know more than 2 guys, and they finished the house, the structure of the house, the foundation. Yeah, it takes like 30 days because it has to dry, but now they have much better concrete that dries much faster, so you shave some times there. But the structure of the house inside and all of the outside and insulation, all of that, you finish it with 3 guys in I would say in a month, if you, I don't know, don't work Saturdays and Sundays. You're just working on the week. So in a month with 3 guys, for sure, easy. And you have like maybe let's say a week, because they work together, the electrical and the plumbing. So you have like a month and a week. You should have a finished house. Maybe let's say in America, houses are a bit bigger than here in Europe. So let's say like 2 months, and you gonna have like American crew, and it's gonna pay a bit more than having like a migrant ones, and you extend the time to 2 months. So there is no reason whatsoever, and especially if someone that knows how to build things, because they know exactly how much materials they need to buy. They don't have to wait for anything else then after they start the project. So there's no excuses whatsoever. There is no way for a guys, like a member of 3 guys, and 2 additional ones, a plumber and electrician. So like 5 guys. But those 2 guys, they just work a week, so it doesn't matter that much. At the most a week. So there is no way like a crew of 3 guys cannot finish a house, genuinely finish from start to absolutely finish in more than 2 months. I put it like, here is gonna be a month. Let's put it, because no, 2 months for a 3 crew member. If you want one of those guys that like to help them, you just have like a 4 crew guys. You can help them too finish faster. But if they told you that it lasts much longer than that, and it just, or like the cost is increasing, or they don't buy everything they need in the first week, and they say, oh, we need to buy more of that, or we didn't calculate right, that guy has no idea what he's doing, trust me. My guys, my people in Romania here, we going outside when they got in the European Union, and they build a lot of things in Switzerland, Austria, Germany, Spain, France, and we build it reliable and fast, so we know what you're talking about. So if you have a contractor that says it costs more than that, and they need cost more with the project, because they didn't calculate it great first in the first time, they didn't make a good calculation, and it says like it lasts much longer and they need much more crews, he's lying to you, or he has no idea what he's doing. Because I witnessed my own eyes how fast you can build and with how few people. So there is no excuses whatsoever. But if you accept that, then yeah, they're gonna charge you a lot of money. It's gonna ask like a year until they finish the house. And in this, like I say, in this project, we have like the roof done, the walls done, inside done. You just have to furnish the house. That's it. And that's, that probably is going to take longer, because usually when you order furniture, that could take a bit more than then a few weeks, that's a different discussion there. Or if you are just going to the showroom and you like what you see, just pretty much buy it on the spot, and yeah, you have it one day. And that's it. But a house itself, no. There is no. Look at this guys here, stays here. And yeah, we're talking about when you have the paperwork done, obviously, not because that's clearly depends on the state. I mean, like here we can, especially in the outside the cities, we can have all the papers done, like I don't know, like a month or something like that, maybe 2, let's say, like some celebration here. It just they are in a vacation or something like that. But yeah, in the cities, it's gonna take you like the paperwork in a year at least here, so that's fucked up here too. In United States, like I said, if you fix the bureaucracy, you're gonna build much faster. But on the building side, once you have all the papers, you should not expect to last more than finish the house top to bottom. 2 months. 2 months, absolutely top. And they already, like I said, they have the project. They know exactly those that they know what they're doing. They know exactly what to order, how much. They can already order the windows before they even start building the house. Especially if you build it with wood, you know exactly the dimensions for the space when the window's gonna go there from the doors. So you already place the order, and usually, like, I don't know exactly how it takes there, but here in Europe, like 2 weeks to be all done. So by the time you build the house, that's why you hire a constructor. That's why you're a contractor. That's why you hire them, because they're supposed to know those things and supposed to move with the project very fast. Give you an exact cost, because they finish the house in 1 or 2 months. The cost cannot rise that fast. So you have an exact cost. They don't have that many crew members, and they generally work on one project. They don't start like 5 projects and they just move the crew around. That's gonna take a lot of time to finish your project. Then don't allow something like that to happen. You're gonna do very well for yourself, trust me. And also you're gonna have fixing. This is the only way you can fix this housing crisis. Otherwise, if you're looking for excuses, then no, you're not gonna fix anything, and things are gonna stay the same as they are today. So yeah, on this state in Arkansas, I must say, not so 30 miles an hour speed limit. Get the fuck out of here. It's supposed to be at least 50 here. Roads are better than we saw in West Virginia and even Louisiana, that's for sure. Housing, pretty average. It does feel like a more poor state, that's for sure. It's not one of those greatest one that we can see, or at least it's not one of those that we expect to see much better than we expect to see when we start the video. It's not something like the young generation wants to move here and stay, that is for sure. But, you know, and look at the Mississippi River here. But in the same time, it's like, if you are born there and you don't want to move out and you don't have much opportunities to move, then doesn't present itself sometimes the opportunities, and you are like kind of forced to live here in a way, it's not that bad. It's a decent place when you can actually have some decent life here too. Although keep an eye on the population is going down and they're getting older. So usually old population and less population, they don't buy that much stuff. And if you're working in sale or something like that, the only reason you can again gonna make some money if you force people to buy stuff they don't need. So that's gonna make you a really bad person with time. And I'm sure you're gonna be able to live with yourself pretty soon, and it's not gonna be a great life in the state of Arkansas, and that is gonna make even more young people to leave. So now you have the same problem, but this time it's an overdrive. It's supercharged this time. So yeah, I don't know about you, but I don't think fixing a problem like that, when you have a population that's going down and it's going older for the first time in the human history, it requires some genuinely genius people in the not just one, more than one, in the politics to fix the problem, or at least have some sort of a solution. Otherwise, if you go for the same one, like, oh, we go to migrants, we go to the easy way out, first of all, you're gonna destroy the country. That's what you're gonna push forward to those civil war, which is gonna happen, that we know for sure. And second of all, after even that, you still didn't fix anything. You still have the same problems. Now, on the top of that, you have migrants too that's gonna pretty much ask for their rights, and when they ask for their rights, and you're gonna see your own people is coming down and down in population, and their people it's kind of stay the same, or at least go up for a few generations enough to overwhelming you. Again, they have 2 cars now. What the fuck? Oh, they have a family of cops here. What is going on? How the fuck you get 2 police cars? I mean, like, I don't think something happened here that they're parked on the driveways, not here on the street. So I assuming they stay here. Is the sheriff? They have 2 sheriff's car at their homes. That is corruption here in Europe, but here in America, it's like, oh, these normal things. It's insane. Here you get arrested for that. There is no way you're gonna use your car for taxpayer money to go home after work and then whatever you wanna do with it. It's insane. No way. Yeah, in America, I guess they allow this behavior, so in a way they don't tackle the corruption at every level, or at least they don't even see it as a corruption. Most likely, you leave the car at the office. You use the car only for the job, and that's it. Then when you go home, you use your own car. Don't use the taxpayer money car for sure. It is what it is. So yeah, they're gonna have the migrants that they're gonna have more kids than the native population. They build the country, the systems, and they're gonna start changing it because they're gonna have like people elected, their own people elected in the power, and they're gonna have the change system bit by bit. In the end, it's gonna be the whites is gonna be a minority, the blacks is gonna be a minority, the genuine minority this time with way less rights than they have now, both groups. And eventually they're gonna be North America, United States. It's gonna be nothing else than a South American states. And I'm not sure how well they can maintain these nice, clean neighborhoods in some cases that they build for themselves, because when you change the culture of the place, of the people, they bring their own culture from their own country. They like this one, but they're not gonna preserve it because they don't know how hard it is to build something like that and maintain it. So yeah, it's gonna be less and less places like this looking like that after 2050 maybe, or even next century. It's not gonna disappear, that is for sure. There is no way that's gonna happen, but most of the people probably they're not gonna live like this. Whites, yes, they're gonna live like this, but anyone else, I don't think so. So yeah, that's what I think about this nonsense with migration, and nonsense also with the old people staying in power. Should not be allowed to be that old and take any function in any level whatsoever, but maybe just me. And also with the voting, that could be a bit controversial. Like, I have 1 person, 1 vote. It doesn't work, and we should be more and more aware of that. It doesn't work, and it will never work. And if you keep standing in this space, we do nothing else than just elect the old people electing their own people, and we see how that that it is right now. That's a really nice neighborhood. Look at this nice house here. It's pretty good, genuinely pretty nice. Although a bit close to each other here, but I would like to grow up in a neighborhood like this. I'm gonna be honest, look pretty good. So like I say, Arkansas have some really nice places each and there. It's not bad at all. It's not bad at all. It's just there is also big differences, I would say, between rich and poor, which kind of sucks. And here they don't have the Street View car. What the fuck? They have the old ones from 2008. Nobody bothers. No, that one it bothers. So probably they have some sort of an error there. So yeah, Arkansas overall look pretty decent. I'm gonna be honest with you. It's just that a few. There's the pool above the ground. That's really bad. If you cannot afford, it's just a hole, a cement hole with water in it. But probably they make it so expensive that it's absolutely insane to try to build something real for yourself, and you are going for those fake pools. That I have one of those. I used to have it. It doesn't make that much sense. A real pool, way better. But they make it so expensive that you cannot afford it. Then yeah, you should elect other people immediately in power. Oh, that's a really nice house here. Look at this with those trees here, looking very nice. Although bad taste on cars, otherwise looking pretty good. Genuinely pretty nice. A bit more trees, I would say, here and some bushes, and you're pretty done. Sold. Absolutely. So see, that's a property line. You don't need more than that. That's fine. You don't need fences. Looking pretty good overall. Yeah, it looks nice. Yeah, I don't think we need to stay more in Arkansas. I mean, the same problem that I can see, the only problem, the same problem I can see here like in other states is like the young population still want to experience what is outside, and most likely they're not gonna come back. Or maybe they're gonna come back as old persons, as old people when you know, it doesn't exactly serve them that well. But it is what it is those days. So yeah, not something that as a elected politician that we would like to see, and also as a young population. But I don't know. I don't know. We will see how things are going. After 2050 is gonna be insane amount of year, because they're gonna show a good censorship of the population. They're gonna show most likely in every single state. I will assume by then population is gonna go down. God knows when we're gonna land on the migrants, and by then we should have a really good technology that food will not be a problem, medical, anything from related to that will not be a problem, and housing should not be a problem. And any product that is built in a factory should be so easy, so fast, so cheap, and you can genuinely just can give it away by then. But humans at always, and also more important than that, get rid of this old population that stays in power right now. Anyone who was, let's say, born before 1990, by 2050 should not be able to have no real power at any level in policy, at least. Policy, justice, policing, all of those should not be able to have any functions whatsoever. So that is going to be a huge change. But we will see if we can achieve those. If we do, then yeah, by 2050 we are going to live totally different lives. That is, and especially the next generations, that's for sure. Until then, God knows. So yeah, that was the video that I make. If you live in Arkansas and see this video, leave a comment, say how things are there. Again, I'm not choosing the bad side, I'm not choosing the good side, always randomly on the map. And yeah, sometimes you hit those nice places, otherwise you hit those not so desirable ones, but it is what it is. So yeah, until next time, check the other videos, and see you next time.